Greetings, YouTube. I'd like to talk about the difference between innate and performative gender. Now, the folks on the conservative side will tell you that your gender is innate. And to me, they are confusing genitals with gender. Yes, I am fully aware that intersex people exist and that they're everywhere and they have always existed. I understand that. The conservatives are simplifying this in a way so that their tiny little minds can understand it. So we're going to simplify the discussion as well. As far as the conservatives are concerned, gender is innate. I am a cisgender man. I align with the gender that I was assigned with at birth. Okay? I have never felt weird in my body because of my gender. I do occasionally suffer from bouts of bodily dysmorphia, but it has nothing to do with my gender. It has to do with the way I appear to myself in the mirror. Sometimes it doesn't mesh with how I appear to myself in my head. I throw that into the pile with my mental illness and my neurodivergence. Stir repeatedly, and you end up getting a James. And one of the things that fascinates me about this is that they will tell you repeatedly with this long laundry list of traits and examples of why a man is a man because it is innate by the ordained by God. But even the atheists will get in on this game. They won't use the God excuse, but they'll still tell you that it's innate because there are just as many social conservatives amongst the atheists as there are amongst the religious folks. If you don't believe me, you haven't spent enough time around the atheist community. You got to see what they say about gay people and about women too. It's no, actually, you probably shouldn't. You'd be better off if you didn't. Um, but if you suggest in any way, shape, or form that it would be okay for a man to say wear a dress or put on makeup, they'll start screaming and yelling and saying how that makes that guy he's a pussy, he's feminine, he's a girl, you know, and they'll deride him, they'll insult him, they'll tell you how unmanly he is, which is a little confusing. Because if a man is a man because it is innate to their nature, how does it factor in that changing that person's clothes or putting on or not putting on makeup affects their gender? You're telling me it's innate. You'll come up with an endless list of reasons why it's innate. And yet if a guy wears a pink shirt, there will be people, particularly men, that will pick on him for it. I have experienced this firsthand. I own a pink shirt. It's got a big purple star on it because it makes me a star-bellied sneetch. And I've had someone tell me, look at it, and says, looked at me, and the person's English is not their first language, but he looked at me and he said, you like that? I said, I'm wearing it. He said, I don't like it. I said, that's nice, and I walked away. He's also derided me for the fact that I have a purple drinking bottle at work. He'd probably hate this one. He's picked on me because I have a rainbow flag I wear on my belt pouch, and I have another on my EDC bag. He'd probably, where is it? Here it is. He'd probably hate this as well. I don't know if he's ever seen this one. I do wear it to work occasionally, depending on the weather. But they'll tell you that if you wear a rainbow flag or you wear a pink shirt or you put on makeup or heaven forfend you put on a dress, that makes you a girl. So what is it? Is it innate or is it performative? It sounds to me like you've accepted the fact that it's performative. Because if a guy wears a dress and that guy identifies as a cisgender man, then that is the dress of a cisgender man. If I put a dress on, I am not pretending to be a woman. I would just be me in a dress. Now, I've never I don't know, actually, I did wear a dress once. It was for a play. Um, but I used to wear garb in the Society for Creative Anachronism, which is lots of tunics and stuff, which are very dress-like. And it never for a second made me feel feminine, because I'm a guy. And even if you put feminine attire upon me, it won't change the fact that I identify as a man, that I'm straight. It would not alter my gender, you know, identity or my sexuality. It would just be me in a dress. Um, but for conservatives, a guy in a dress isn't a guy. And yes, they will tell you in the same conversation that gender is innate, while also telling you a man in a dress isn't a man. And they will never see the irony in that, nor the hypocrisy. And they will continue to spew at you about how gender is innate and that men in dresses are girls.